Welcome to my little lesson on a few things I've learned about minor 7th chords and minor 6th chords and the related chords, their related chords, and the shapes that you use as you move up the neck. So basically everybody pretty much knows that the simplest chord on the ukulele is an A minor 7th, and many people know that it's also can go by C6, and you can make that same chord as you move up the neck just by changing the shape of your chords. And there's basically 4 shapes. You only need 4 shapes to make all those A minor 7th, C6 chords as you move up the neck. And those 4 shapes can be used for any minor 7th chord in any key, just depending on where you want to put it on the neck. So here's a little diagram I've shown of those 4 chords, and I've put the 5th as a repeat, but so you can come back to this as a reference. But we'll go through them now. So first shape is just, it's as if I had a fret here and it's just all open. The next shape is this shape here. And the way I like to play that one is I play it as a bar chord on the 2nd fret, and then even though the only one that's going to make a difference is this on this string, then I use this finger to hold down the next 2 strings, and then put my 3rd finger, my ring finger, up on that fret there. So that's really the same chord, just a different inversion as we move up the neck. The next shape is this shape here. And the way I usually play that one is I do the 4-finger method. 1 finger here, 1 finger there, 1 finger there, and there. And you see that's the same, just a different inversion. Now you can also play that one as a bar chord, and sometimes I play it that way. Bar chord here, these 2 fingers there, just because it makes it easier for another transition, or maybe that's the way you prefer to play it. The next one, the next shape, is this shape here, and the way I like to play that one, that's going to go up to here. I play that one by putting this finger on these 2 strings. Now some people actually put a finger on every single string, and you can do it that way if that's easier for you. I like it this way because that leaves my pinky free, and I can stick it on another string and change the chord if I want. And then we come right back to just level across the fret. Okay, so now those 4 shapes, like I said, any minor 7th chord there is. So let's do the same thing. Let's move that A minor 7th up to a D minor 7th. We just go up by a 4th. So here we are, that's a D minor 7th. And as you see, we have some room down here. We can actually take this down to this D minor 7th, and you may recognize that that's the most familiar first position D minor 7th. Okay, so let's say you come across a chart that's got something like an F sharp minor 7th. You don't need to go to the internet, look up this chord or your chord cheat sheet. You have everything, you know it's going to be one of those 4 shapes. So just think it through. Well, F sharp is, well, it's kind of halfway between our A and a D. Let's start at the D. So here's our D minor 7th, E minor 7th. That means that's an F minor 7th. There's our F sharp minor 7th. Okay, so if that's an F minor 7th, we have some room down here, we can take it down here. So it just depends where on the neck you want to play it. Maybe in a particular arrangement you want to play it way up here or way up here. So those 4 shapes, that's all you need. Any minor 7th or major 6th chord. Don't worry about the name right now. The shapes are really the most important thing. Okay, now we're going to move on to the minor 6th chord. Now the minor 6th chords, here's the shapes for those. And I'll show you how you get to those from the minor 7th. So a minor 6th chord, it's the same as a minor 7th, but we drop the 7th a half step to the 6th. Now we can't drop anything if we start here at the nut. So we'll start at this position here. And what's the 7th of an A minor 7th? It's a G. So where's our G? This is our G right here. We're going to drop that by a half step. So, as you see, I've put this chart here. This is our A minor 7th. This is our A minor 6th. We just dropped this note by a half step. And we can do that in all the other positions. Drop that same note. Go up to our next position, A minor 7th. What's our next one? And then back to the very top where this is our top A minor 7th. We're going to drop this one by a half step. And so here's a chart for that, and showing basically how the minor 7th transitions into the minor 6th. Now one thing you may have noticed is that's a pretty cool sounding transition. And all we're doing is we're changing one note in the chord by one half step. Well, it turns out that's one of the most fundamental and important transitions, especially in jazz. And we'll get more to that in the next lesson. Just suffice it for now that know that sounds kind of cool. Okay, now you may have noticed that this chord here, as I said, the A minor 7th can go by the name, also the name of C6. The A minor 6 actually has 2 other names, and one of them is the 9th chord. And if you look at this, you may recognize that's a D7. And if we take the root, this D, and change it into a Ni, that makes it a D9. So our A minor 6 can also be a D9. And that's part of why that transition sounds so cool. We're going from an A minor 7th up to its 4th. It's 4/7, or the 9th chord. Okay, now another name that this minor 6 can have is a minor 7th flat 5th. So how do we get to that? Well, here's our A minor 7th. What's the 5th of an A minor 7th? It's the E. Here's our E. We're going to drop that by a half step down to the E flat. And again, I think you'll notice that that's kind of a cool transition, a cool sounding transition. And that one is, we're basically moving this way. So here, let me get my chord chart straightened out. We went from, I'm messed up here, sorry. We're going this way now. Here's our A minor 7th. Yeah, I got it upside down, sorry. Yes, okay. A minor 7th, A minor 7 flat 5. Recognize that shape? It's the exact same shape that we came up with in this other chart. We're just shifted. So see, basically if we shift it like that, we have the same shape. So let's go through that. A minor 7th, A minor 7th flat 5th, A minor 7th, A minor 7th flat 5th, A minor 7th, A minor 7 flat 5. So, good practice is to do these shapes, practice these shapes as you go up, and then also do it in the key of D. And then do the same thing with your minor 6 shape. And I think you'll start to realize that there's some kind of cool riff-based stuff that you can do with that. If you're going... and, you know, move up by a half step. That's it, you know, if you're here and you can't remember if you're at the right note, well, you can slide into it. It sounds good. Anyway, so in the next lesson we'll talk more about why those transitions sound so cool and why they're important and how you can use moving these shapes up and down the neck. We're really only talking 8 shapes here. 4 shapes for the minor 6th family and 4 shapes for the minor 7th family. And how you can use them for chord melody arrangements and for writing your own songs. So anyway, till next time, have fun and practice this stuff. You know, practice moving up the neck. And one last look at, here's our minor 7 shapes, and here's our minor 6 family of shapes. So, take care.